Hello everyone, my name is Michael SK and welcome back to Atri, my dear moments. And I'm slowly but surely getting a little bit hooked onto what this visual novel has to offer. The first episode, wasn't really with it. This last episode, I was really with it. And I don't know why. There was less action, less of what was really going on. But the stakes began to grow. We already knew that money was the goal. And Atri, well, she can kind of lead us to that by selling her. And now we're learning there's, some repercussions to that. Do we really want to? Especially after what has happened in the end of the previous episode. That got emotional, and I'm here for it. When I wake, I feel the gentle rocking of the waves. The wind turbine spins outside the window, and the comfortable drone of the radio news fills the room. I can't remember the last time I woke up so unburdened by pain. A whisper tickles my ear. And there she is. A sweet tingling breath. I slowly open my eyes and look over to the source. What the Okay. Not really what I was expecting after how well the end of the previous episode ended, but whatever. I carefully slip my arm out from under her and leave her on the bed. My head feels completely clear. That clearness, however, means I remember everything pathetic, or every pathetic thing I did last night, excuse me. Hey, that shit was cute though. That shit was actually really emotional and all of that, and I am here for that. I love those serious moments in anything. I wish I was dead. The memories weigh heavily on my mind. Wait, so she's a robot yet she dreams? I didn't know robots could talk in their sleep. Is she dreaming while she's in sleep mode? Humanoids are supposed to use sleep mode to reorganize their memory banks. I wonder if that process appears to them something like a dream. I think I had suggested running. Running's a fun time. I guess she really forced the answer out of me in the end. Looking down at her peaceful demeanor, I can't help but feel a twinge of anger. What the hell? I was content to blame everything on my leg. Blame it on that and just wander alone through the deep looking for something I would never find. That would have been the easy life, I thought. And yet I ended up finding this thing. But what do I want now? Sighing, I pinch Atri's cheek. I mean, at the end of the day, you have to admit, what an odd character. In many ways, I can't let her see me like that again. I don't want her acting all smug. Oh, nice day out. I look up out of the window. The drizzle and haze of last night has given way to glorious sunshine. Right. Get up, toaster. Okay, her hand lightly boinks against my belly. It doesn't hurt one bit. That was loud though. Huh, I guess being half asleep somehow lets robots attack humans? Unless that wasn't an attack. What was it then? I don't know. I mean, it seems like the goal of humanoids in a way is just to, replicate a lot of human actions. And here, it's not necessarily that she was trying to be violent. It's just that she accidentally did something that could come off as violent while she was asleep. Which, I don't know if, humans can necessarily do that. But, we do talk in our sleep. We might even do some actions. I've woken up with my arms just straight up raised up into the air for some reason. Or I'll leap awake. It just happens. Whatever, get up. She looks around the room with blurry eyes.
そっか。私、昨日の夜。
Please don't word it like that. I was gonna say, but, you know, it is what it is.
おはようございます、夏希さん。
I never thought a robot would have this much trouble waking up.
私、手で圧なんで。
I thought she was high performance. What happened to all of that? That was like the whole shtick of the previous episode. What does that even mean? Atri sits up on the bed, stretching her neck from side to side.
変な姿勢でスリープしてたから、関節がグキグキ
How does that even work? Hurry up and put some clothes on. I don't know where to look right now. Plus, well, I've decided not to sell you. That was a quick decision. God damn, there was no inner conflict or anything. It's just one good night hanging out with her, and that's all it took. I don't want to lose another leg, or a body pillow, or whatever we're saying you are now. I mean, we can still doubt a lot of that. Put some damn clothes on. She's got some clothes. It could be worse. I'm glad it isn't. Maybe I'm just being self-destructive again. I know that this decision has no future merits beyond the immediate benefits, but it's better than just wasting away, isn't it? My heart wells up with a strange feeling. It's like the path into extinction I had thought to be so easy to walk down was suddenly diverging, leading me to a very distant destination. Damn. That was briefly philosophical. Oh, okay. Alright, well, that's an intro. Okay, that was loud. But, you know what? That was a pretty cool opening. It also reminded me that there are more characters that we, have to meet. There's a lot more that's going to be going on here than we really do think here. I don't even know what to think. I don't know where my expectations necessarily lie anymore. There's something meditative about brushing your teeth, there is. Staring into the mirror and mechanically moving my hand, I start to get lost in thought. It's all well and good making my own decision, but how do I actually support myself from here on out? It's one thing to say that I'm not going to sell Atri, but the consequences are another thing entirely, especially when you consider the two in particular that stick out like sore thumbs. The first of those being my debts. If I don't sell Atri, my grandmother's debts will likely have to be paid with everything else I own. If it was just the submarine, I might be able to make do, but losing my boat would mean losing my home. Which, I guess, is kind of out of the question as well. To tell the truth, though, I'm not entirely sure I believe that repossession order is even real. Why did I agree to go along with Catherine's plan despite how shady it seemed, you ask? Well, it's all because she was offering me a concrete way to get my hands on at least half of whatever she wanted salvaged from my grandmother's place. I was suspicious of her for sure, but I had no real choice but to go along with it. When I left the academy and came back here, I found the town half submerged and my grandmother on her deathbed. So no matter how suspicious it seemed, it was at least a chance to make something of my predicament. I had nothing to lose. And in the end, there really was a treasure down there. Yes, there was. A very strange one. But a treasure nonetheless. Excuse me. A little tuft of hair has been bouncing up and down in the corner of my eye this whole time. I glance downwards. Said treasure is brushing her teeth alongside me. Robots brush their teeth too? They don't have to eat though, do they? Scientists attempted to research artificial organs that would allow a robot to power themselves with food, but practical models were never completed. Atri hasn't eaten at all since I found her, and she doesn't seem hungry at all. Which brings me to my second problem. What do I do with her? I could think of it as having bought a domestic servant, but somehow that idea sticks in my craw. Would it be better to treat her like a roommate, shipmate? I'm a little bit terrified that she's suddenly going to start wolfing down all of my food. Without any income of my own currently, I've been surviving on the little money my grandmother had left, if I could read. I'm going to have to find some way of making some cash. I guess I'll ask Minamo if she knows anywhere in need of workers. She's really the only person in this town I can call a friend. Oh yeah, she told me to come to school. That's kind of us. Atri looks up at me, toothbrush still in her mouth. Don't talk with your mouth full, yeah?
僕の方が自分で上手に磨けません。やってもらってもいいですか?
Damn, you're really going for the childish act. It's not that hard. Actually, it kind of is. It's a little bit misleading. You have to, like, not have your mouth completely all the way open. You know, if they replicated her to a human degree that much. I take her toothbrush. It's not as meditative like this, that's for sure. There you go. Now wash your mouth out. Yep, that's exactly what it sounds like to do exactly that. She spits out into the cup in my hand. Why the hell am I the one brushing your teeth? Wouldn't it normally be the opposite?
所有するロボットのメンテナンスは持ち主の役目ですよ。
That's maintenance? Good point. Annoying coming from you, but I get it. I sigh and rinse my own mouth out. Just checking, but you don't actually need to eat or anything, do you?
はい。栄養補給できませんから。
Then, what was the point of that? Great, well that's a weight off of my mind. Now that I'm not selling you, money's going to be pretty tight around here. On top of keeping myself alive, I've got those debts to pay.
その心配には及びませんよ。私が売却を保留していただきたいのは45日だけです。
Oh, so she's still for it.
納得のプライスで売ってください。
Even so we're, you know, not really for it anymore, she's still for it. What? I told you I'm not selling you.
でないと新しい足を買えませんよ。
I thought you were supposed to be my leg.
高性能な私にこだわるお気持ちはわかりますが、私は足専門ロボットではありません。
Okay, now we're being all serious.
私が夏希さんの足でいられるのは45日だけです。というわけで、カレンダーを用意しました。
Oh no. Oh, it's just a calendar.
アトリと夏希の
And
3
it's
月
why
カウン
is
ト
it
ダウン
called
カレンダ
that?
ー。
Why does it have to be called that? Okay, that's interesting. It's a roughly drawn grid of 45 squares. The last one is labeled, "That's all, folks."
一日一つ×をつけていきます。昨日の分を書いておきましょう。×と。
Okay, well now we know what day we're on.
残り44日ですね。
We are right there in the middle of July. Whatever.
夏希さん
I turn my back on her and walk back into the cabin. He's not all happy about this. Why am I getting annoyed with her? I thought she was my property, but it really doesn't feel like that at all sometimes. Why does that get to me, though? I'm annoyed all over again, this time at myself. She's a robot and I'm her master. If I ordered her to, she'd have to stay with me as long as I want. Then why does it feel that way? If you're fine with that, then I don't care. It'll make my life a lot easier. I'll have a lot less on my plate with you gone, I suppose. Oh, okay. Atri raises both hands in the air and starts to bounce up and down. The little tuft on her hair sticking up from her head wibbles with each jump. With her arms raised and her hair flying everywhere, I can finally get a good look at her face. Due to the difference in our heights, normally all I can see is that little tuft on the top of her head. What are you so happy about all of a sudden?
学校へ行きましょう。
What? Not a chance.
理由くらい聞いてくださいよ。
My only response is a sigh.
私知ってます。学校とはいろんなことを学ぶ場所なんでしょ。
Is that what you've got logged in your database? Humanoid memory has one particular section devoted to a database of terminology, almost like an inbuilt editable dictionary.
昔誰かに襲われました。
Why does she seem so upset on that? Who, my grandmother?
覚えていません。
Yeah, high performance, alright. It seems like she gets particularly frustrated when she can only partially remember things.
私、
I mean,
勉強がし
it's
て
like
みた
that
い
for
で
me
す。
too. I hate that shit. Whenever I forget something but it's on the tip of my tongue, that is the worst feeling. Wouldn't you be better off searching for your lost memories before your 45 days are up though? It's hardly the time to be learning new stuff.
学校って言葉を聞いた時から、なんとなくこう、引っかかっていて、そこにある気がするんです。
Huh. Have you been to school before, maybe? She shakes her head. It seems less in denial and more not knowing the answer. That must be another thing lost from her memory. I'm starting to think almost everything from before she was put to sleep in that storehouse is gone.
でも昔、私は学校に行ってみたいと。
Ah, shit. I have a feeling of the direction this is going in.
ねえねえねえね
She pulls forcibly on my sleeve. I said no. I turn away.
え。また出ました。夏希さんのだだっこ。だだっこなっちゃう。
Who's the petulant child here exactly? And don't call me weird names like that. What's a robot gonna do at school anyway?
聞いて驚いてください。私には学習機能があります。たくさん勉強して立派なロボットになるんです。人から必要とされるような。
And you think you'll manage that in 45 days? There's gotta be a better way to spend your time.
45日しかないからですよ。急がないと。
So she wants to be the best possible robot ready for her next master. That does make sense, even if the thought makes my chest tighten.
夏希さんはどうして学校行くの嫌なんですか？
Apparently school makes you
身ごもに言われ
dumber.
た時もだだっこでしたよね。
That is absolutely, objectively, not what I did. It's just pointless.
勉強がですか？
It's pointless going to school in a town like this. The schools around here are just too far below the academy's level. You know, it does actually make a little bit more sense why he's not wanting to attend. He seems to be of the age to go to, high school or whatever. He's still a teenager. He's still young. And even if he wasn't, if this was more college level, he could probably fit the bill as well. But it doesn't hurt to go. I get it though. He's really downgrading if he does. In order to even get into the academy, you have to have already studied everything you would cover in a regular high school. There's nothing left for me to learn there. I don't mean that in a I don't even know how to pronounce that way. That's just the simple reality of the situation. Aggrandizing?
じゃあ、夏希さんはついてきて
I
く
feel
れ
like
る
I'm
だけでい
learning
い
new
です。
terms every time we record this. Why would I do that? Just go on your own.
それはダメです。私は夏希さんの足ですから。
She reaches out and grasps my sleeve. I don't care about that. Go if you really want to. Damn, we are just being pissy this morning. Sighing and tutting, I turn my back on the conversation and walk out onto the deck.
どこ行くんですか？
For a walk. It's not like I've got anything better to do.
行ってみたいのにな。
I mean, she could literally go herself. No one's necessarily stopping her. Half an hour later... Oh. Well, look where we ended up.
ここはどこですか？
No idea. I just picked a direction to walk in. I didn't know where we would end up. I mean, it looks like a school to me. Standing before us is a half-sunken concrete building.
半分水に沈んだ建造物。あのような斬新な建築は私のメモリーにありません。
Well, of course not. At the time that she was put to sleep, this building would have been on top of the hill or top of a hill.
検索中、検索中。あ、もしかしてここ学校じゃないですか？
I wonder what gave it away. Huh, well, what do you know? What a coincidence.
したね。
Truly, I am foxed. Anyway, let's pop in and see Minamo while we're here. Wait, this is like an actual open
そうす
school?
るといいです。
Despite it being like a little underwater here? Atri grins, utterly clueless. There is one problem with that plan, though. Do we have to get there via the water? How the hell do you even get into this place? The school buildings are tangled up in a thick web of ivy tree branches, infiltrating through cracks in the concrete and shoulder-deep water, covering every obvious pathway. Surely they've given this place up to the waves and moved somewhere else.
ヒットマンだ。
What the fuck? Oh shit. That's one of the characters that we're bound to meet at some point. A child spots us from one of the windows only to duck down as soon as I look in the direction of her shout. There really are people inside. Wait, Hitman? Let's go home. I've got a bad feeling about this. As I turn to leave, I hear more voices.
ヒットマンどこ？
敵が攻めてきたって本当？ほら、あそこ。武器持ってて、子分も連れてる。
Ah, what lovely imagination.
本当だ。やっべえ。
The children crowd around the window, pointing down at us and babbling in fear.
夏希さん、あいつらは敵対行動に出ようとしてますか？
I don't think they're hostile
私の真の姿を見せねばなりません。
or a threat of any kind. Give me a break. I don't want to know what passes for your true form. We're leaving.
おいつ逃げるぞ。噂ほどじゃないな。
イエーイイエーイヒットマン
I stop and turn. That's all it takes, huh? Hey, brats. If you don't want me to shower this whole place in lead from my machine cane, get down here right now. I wave my walking stick in their general direction.
やられる。
Wait, they believe that?
どうする？
怖いよ。私が行ってくる。
死ぬなよリリカ！
気をつけてね。任せとけ。
This is bound to be interesting. Suddenly feeling like a bad guy in some cheesy action flick, I wait until one of the kids comes out of the building. She slowly paddles over to me in a small boat. Somehow the scene loses a little of its tension. Yeah, I was gonna say, like, one, it's time passing. Two, it's the actual activity just to get over to us. It's, you know, a little bit more ridiculous.
ヒットマン。
Brandishing the paddle like a sword, the little girl stares me down with fiery eyes.
夏希さんに手を出すというなら、私が相手になります。
Atri stands imperiously above her, arms outstretched as if daring her to attack.
ザコは引っ込んでろ。
What?
ザコ？
Yeah, shove off, shorty.
夏希さんまでひどい。ヒットマン、私と勝負しろ。
Let me ask you one thing first. Is that your nickname for me? The kid nods.
町の人たちが噂してた。お前は殺し屋で3人くらい殺して町に逃げてきたって。
Who have we killed? How does a rumor like that even spread around? Like, I get it. It's a small, you know, pretty awful looking area that they're all in here. But yeah, I get it. A visitor, some random stranger from who knows where has come here and has, you know, been, you know, just chilling here for a little bit. Does that make him a hitman? An evil being of some sort?
杖がライフルで足にマシンガンを仕込んでるんだろ。全部知ってるんだからな。
That's really what the people around here think of me?
そうだったんですか？
Why are you believing it? Atri turns to me, wide-eyed and pale in the face. 100%. I'll just leave that idea in her head for a while.
私の手からもロケットパンチが出
Okay,
ま
that's
すよ。
believable. That's believable on her part.
マシンガンなんかより強力ですよ。
She won't be winning in plaudits, or any plaudits for her acting. So, is that the boat you used to get into the school?
そうだ。
In that case, I'm getting in.
私が。
Yeah, wait, why are we now going here? You want a second try at drowning me? Not a chance.
ちゃんと学習したから平気です。
Oh, that's very high performance of her, isn't it? Atri climbs into the boat first and holds her hand out to me. I guess she really has learned what to do.
おい、ダメだぞ入っちゃ。学校にはみんながいるんだぞ。みなもちゃんも。
Ah, perfect. Minamo's who I'm here to see.
みなもちゃんを狙ってるのか？ごめん、みなもちゃん。
God damn, she's loud too. You know, I always wonder how many episodes it's gonna take me to really get everybody's volume all figured out. We'll do good old 67.
バカじゃなかったんだ。
That works for
よく
me.
言われる。お前なんか、りゅうちゃんがやっつけてくれる。
Who? I don't even know who that is.
くっそー。みんなごめんな。
What is even going on at this school? Tears streaming down her face, the little girl starts to paddle. She could just not take us? It's not like we're leaving her hostage whatsoever either. So it is a little odd. The boat comes to a stop at what seems to be a hole in the wall, as if a second floor hall has been abruptly cut off. It seems like the side of the school nearest to the sea has completely collapsed, likely when the ground beneath it subsided when the waters around here rose. So this is the entrance?
そうだ。くっそー。絶対許さないからな。くそくそ。
Again, you're not even a hostage. You didn't have to, you know, row us over here. But you did. Atri pulls me up out of the boat and we walk inside. Oh, this will be interesting. But this is also probably where we're going to meet the rest of the main cast. Compared to the outside, the inside of the building is surprisingly well kept. From the third floor upwards, it could pass for almost any normal school. Where's Minamo?
みなもちゃんに何する気だ。あ、さては好きなんだな。みなもちゃん可愛いもんな。もしかして告白しに来たのか。
She has a wide array of weird-ass ideas. Just be quiet and take me to her. Even caught up in my own little fantasy world, she's taking us straight to where we need to go. Maybe she isn't such a bad kid. Why did Atri, like, react to that the way she did? From the end of the hallway, past rows of empty classrooms, I hear a hubbub of voices.
問題できた人から言いに来てね。
みなもちゃん、勉強してる場合じゃないよ。リリカが危ないんだ。
I wonder how many, you know, actual students there are in this school. I would assume not a whole lot. This building is probably too big for its own good. It's probably a Higurashi scenario where a lot of classes, or if there's just one class, it's probably just shared among all age groups.
ヒットマンが。はいはい。授業に集中しようね。っていうか、リリカどこ行っちゃったのかしら。
Minamo's the teacher? By the looks of it, this is the only class.
みんな逃げて
The kid bursts into the classroom shouting.
リリカ、無事だったのか。
逃げてヒットマンが来た。どこ行ってたのリリカ。授業中でしょ。みなもちゃん、危ない隠れて。あいつはみなもちゃんを狙ってるんだ。
She's still so loud it hurts my ears.
よしよし、泣かないの。あいつってヒットマン。
The kid, Ririka, presumably, points at me.
ナツくんだ。来てくれたんだ。
Yeah, we are here.
近づいちゃダメだ。やられる。ナツくんはそんなことしないよ。ヒットマンってナツくんのことだったの？うん。だってあいつ3人くらい殺してる
Who are
ね
these 3
知ってる。
people? Who have we killed? Oh, hey. Everyone stares at me wide-eyed.
確かに。
I mean, he doesn't look like the most, you know, welcoming of people. Right. Bye.
わあ、待って待って。冗談だよ。ここは通さないぞ。通しません。
What the fuck? Atri? Wait, why are you stopping me?
せっかく学校来たんです。勉強するまで帰れません。おい、コブン、取り押さえろ。勝手んです。
What? Atri and the girl pounce on me from both sides, clinging onto my shirt. Why are you the one holding their lessons, Minamo? Where's the actual teacher?
うちの学校。
Okay, so what is the point of this fucking facility then?
先月 しい先生も来てくれないから。
What are we learning here then? The only people in the classroom are 3 elementary schoolers and 2 kids of high school age, including Minamo.
本当はもっといるんだよ。
So there's 5 people
で
here?
も学校行く意味ないだろうって。
This is way worse than I actually thought it was going to be. I'd have to agree. If they want to study, they may as well do it at home.
できない子もいるんだよ。家に居場所がなかったり、手伝いしなきゃいけなかったり。
How long are you going to keep that up? I pick the girl up by her collar like a cat and plonk her back down on the floor.
私は無力だ。
And you know, it's just skill diff. Jeez, this kid's loud. Just as I'm thinking that, I receive some unexpected validation.
うっせえぞ、静かにしろ。
Oh, yeah, there is another somewhere around our age guy here. And there he is. Yeah, we saw him in the, or I saw him in the intro. A high school age boy, until this point sleeping on his desk with a towel wrapped around his head, shouts over at her.
やっと起きた。授業中だよ、りゅうちゃん。
何が授業だよ、先生もいねえのに。
And yet you're here.
私が先生です。
Minamo puffs herself up and clears her throat, but Ryu-chan doesn't seem to notice. He's too busy glaring at me.
誰だてめえ。
Yeah, good question, huh? There's a sharp glint in his eye, which, when combined with his muscular frame, gives him quite the threatening presence. I would guess that I'm a little taller than him, but somehow it doesn't seem that way.
あたりです。ぺっこり。
Atri skitters over to him and gives him a tiny bow.
いや、マジで誰だよ。
Taken aback by her politeness, he shoots me a scowl.
この人がナツくんだよ。ほら、こないだ言ってた転校生。
We're a transfer student?
ナツくん、あの人は野島龍二くん。みんな龍ちゃんって呼んでるけど、それでその子が。ほほう、これが勉強というやつですか。どれどれ。
Atri snatches Ryuji's textbook and starts to read it.
ふむふむ。
勝手に見るな。
いいじゃないですか。どうせ使ってないんでしょ。
They probably don't realize that she's humanoid, I guess except for Minamo. She breezily brushes off his annoyance, flicking through the book as cool as a cucumber. I failed to suppress a chuckle, excuse me. Who could, seeing the school reprobate, completely shut down by a tiny girl?
んだよ、喧嘩売ってんのか。
Is that reprobate? No, I'm not the fighting type. Not with this body for sure.
嫌味な野郎だ。
Oh, thanks.
はいはい、みんな席について。アトリちゃんを見習って真面目に勉強しようね。
I do have to say, I'm not really a fan of like the oversized school versus it's the school size, like physical building size ratio with you know, the amount of students and faculty. Grisaya was bad. Like that shit was fucking stupid. Like they gave a reason for it, and I guess our reason here is, well, it's the end of the world basically. You know, we're all drowning. Everything is getting sunk in some sort of way. So, yeah, I don't know. I still don't like it because it's just odd, and it just seems like the perfect excuse to not have to worry about a whole bunch of students. I think Higurashi handled their shit pretty damn well. I sigh and take my seat, begrudgingly settling in for a lesson from Miss Minamo. Oh, we in it now. We are now in that school grind for real. For a while, everyone merely reads their textbooks in silence. Seeing Atri so focused on her studying, the children seem naturally pulled along in her wake.
みなも先生、質問いいですか？どこかな？これなんですが。
Minamo looks at Atri's textbook.
そこはね、みなも先生なのにわからないんですか？
So whenever I was a tutor back in college, I was tutoring math, but I was also tutoring basically everything between Algebra 1 and Calculus 1. And that is a pretty big array of stuff because there's also an Algebra 2, there's something in between those two. I don't know. It got a little weird with how they were doing it back in college. But also, after all the algebra shit, there is statistics, which I did not know a lick of, so I did not tutor for that through the school or whatsoever. But there is trigonometry in there, and then calculus 1. I guess trig, pre-calc, then calc 1. And I think during my first semester as a student worker through tutoring, there was somebody who was taking calculus 1 and they wanted some help. But calculus 1 is an animal unlike any other. It really does take everything you know in math and basically just fucking throws a brick against a goddamn concrete wall. It is a mess. But what we did basically is, because I didn't really know a whole lot, I didn't remember a whole lot, more so than ever now, is that we would kind of just work through things together. And if something clicked, I would share it with him and we'd be able to move along. And that's basically how our Fridays were. I think it was like a 2-hour Friday session or some shit like that. It was nuts. It sucked, but goddamn did we get through it. I'm pretty sure he passed his class. I don't know what he's up to now, but yeah, work together. If you don't know the material to like a perfect extent, that's fine. Calculus and trig and pre-calc, all of that shit gets really ridiculous.
違うんだよ。それ、リュウちゃんの教科書でしょ？みなもは何年生ですか？私は1年生だよ。
Oh, lovely.
だからまだ
So why are you
全
the
然
teacher?
習ってないとこなの。
How does that work? Huh, so he's a year older than me.
ねえ、リュウちゃん、ここわかる？
ああ、わかるわけねえだろ。俺だって習ってねえし。
Damn, if only they had a teacher.
習ってても、リュウちゃんのことだから真面目に授業を受けてないしね。
人に物を尋ねる態度か、それ。
With nothing else to do, I take a look at what Atri's reading. What do you need help with?
でもこれ、3年生のだよ。
Yeah,
やつく
but
ん
we
ま
went
だ
to the
2
academy.
年生だよね。ここです。
It's a math textbook. Oh, there we go. Seems pretty simple. Guess I'll teach her how to solve it.
なるほど。ありがとうございます。ナツくんすごい。
It wasn't exactly a hard problem. Anyone could solve it if they've learned the method.
かっこつけやがって。
Well, technically,
ね
yes.
え、ナツくん。実は私もわかんないところがあるんだけど。ありがと
Let me take a look.
う。ちょっと待ってね。ここと、ここと、
I wonder if,
それから。
if you guys are thinking what I'm thinking. We're in a post-apocalyptic world, and here we are, studying and all that. Why? There's still work to be done. It seems like there is a lot of hope for something out of the future. Might as well continue on with curriculums. There might be something that you can use down the line. Nowadays, in our reality, it's that, yeah, you're going to pick up a whole lot of shit in high school and college and whatever else. You'll probably not even apply 90% of that stuff, but at least you'll have it, and you might end up in a position for work that actually does utilize what you studied from a certain point, and you'll basically have that upper ground. Minamo flicks through all of the notes that she's taken. I will admit I am a little tired. It seems like she's been building up quite the library of questions over the past month since the class was left without a teacher. I go through them one by one.
ナツくんすごい。天才だよ。
And you're loving this shit. I'm a little embarrassed to hear her say that, but helping her out wasn't so bad, I suppose. You're Ryuji, right?
あ
Let me take a look at your notes too. I may as well while I'm here.
はあいらねえし。
Okay, fuck you. Seriously. His face turns bright red, almost too surprised to be angry. Are you really going to sit in the corner and mess around just because there's no teacher to tell you off? If you want, I can help you study.
いきなり来て先生気取りかよ。しかも年下のくせに。
I studied at the academy, so I already know everything in your textbook. You don't have to be embarrassed, that's just how things are.
お前、すげえやつだな。
Yeah, I've been told that a few times. Really? Thanks, I suppose.
褒めてねえよ。 つうか俺らが勉強なんかしたって無駄だろ。
It'll give you more choices when you leave school. You could go to college, get a job, contribute to society, that kind of thing. While a lot of universities were absorbed into the academy when it was established, there are still some independent institutions in most places. Many don't have the budgets they'd like in this age of instability and depopulation, but some can still produce research and scholars to rival society's best.
ここにいる中に大学へ行ける人間がいると思ってんのか？
I don't really know anyone in the class except for Minamo, but it's true that the likelihood of any of them getting into a university is extremely low.
大学なんて行けるのは一部のエリート連中。それ以外が勉強なんざ頑張ったって。つまり時間の無駄ってこった。だいたいよ、そんなに勉強が大事ならなんでお前はこんなところにいるんだ？
Yeah, I mean, that is a good question.
アカデミーとかいう偉い学校でお勉強してりゃよかっただろうが。
You... Ah, shit.
リュウちゃん、ナツくんにもいろいろあったんだよ。
Yeah, look at our legs. Minamo leans over to whisper something in his ear.
悪かった。ついムキになっちまって。
Yeah, this guy is like unnecessarily just over the top. He stands up from his seat.
かったりから帰るわ。
Like, it doesn't seem like a bad person, like, really on any account. But this is a tough situation. A tough world, really. He walks off with his hands in his pockets, nose turned up, a scowl on his face. But as he crosses the threshold into the corridor, I think I see something like a flash of regret in his expression. I don't really know what to think of this guy. I mean, in a way I do feel bad. But again, everybody's got problems here. This is the end times. But also, yeah, we've all been teenagers. We've all been complicated as fuck for like no good reason. So it's all good. He can have his moment to just be confusing. And with that, we will end this episode. Atri the Combat Maid. I don't know how I feel about that one, but we will continue onward, at least for now. I don't know still if this is full Let's Play material. Not necessarily sure yet. But what do you guys think, you know? What has been your opinion so far of Atri? And I know that the anime is out, and I've heard some good things so far. I don't know how far along it is. Maybe 2 episodes now? Maybe coming up on 2 episodes existing? So that is an option too. It is cool to see that we have another visual novel anime. Some cool stuff. Thank you all for tuning in. I hope you all enjoyed. If you did, be sure to leave a like, subscribe, all that fancy jazz, and I will see you guys in the next one. Take it easy.